Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. You are listening to the Daly Dose Sports Podcast, and I am your host, Clint Daly, coming to you from the Mile High City here in Denver, Colorado, and we are back for another week of talking sports with a dose of common sense. Hey, happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is going well. Hope your week is off to a strong start. Hey, you are already halfway to another weekend. That's always a good thing, especially right now, where we do have football. We have so many things going right now. It is a wonderful, wonderful time of the year. I hope you, your family, your friends, everyone in your world is staying strong and you are staying healthy right now. And you know, when you think back to those months of like June, July, maybe August, and there's just nothing on. Like you're getting up on a Saturday, you're getting up on a Sunday, and you're going, oh, I just can't wait until football season gets here. I just cannot wait until we have something to watch because there is nothing to watch right now. All that's on is like baseball and golf and NASCAR. There's just nothing on. And we are saying, I can't wait for those weekends. College football gets going. There are so many good games on. It's just better and better every single week. The weather is cooling down. There are ranked games all day long. Remember when we were waiting for that? Remember just a few weeks ago even, we were waiting for that? Well, here we are, kids, because we just had an amazing weekend in football. I mean, we had one of those weekends in college football that you've been waiting for months. I am embarrassed to say how much college football I actually watched, how much NFL I actually watched, because I literally sat on my couch for 2 full days and watched game after game after game. On Saturday, I seriously went downstairs, turned on the TV at like 9:30 in the morning, and I don't know that I moved until maybe 10 o'clock that night, 11 o'clock that night. It was close. And then on Sunday, I did the exact same thing, where I just got up and I began to just watch and watch and watch and watch. And it was amazing. I'm not going to even pretend it wasn't. I enjoyed it. You figure on Saturday, I was just burning through my remote control batteries. I was watching so many games. You figure we had Clemson and Florida State early. Very, very good game. Wild finish. And then in the afternoon, we got UCLA versus Utah. We got Ole Miss and Alabama. We got LSU and Arkansas. All three pretty entertaining games. And then in the evening, we got Notre Dame versus Ohio State that came down to the final snap of the game. It was one of those Saturdays that we've been looking forward to, honestly, since probably the Super Bowl back in February. And you know, we're going to get a few of those matchups again this week in college football. Not quite as big as last week, but we're going to have some more big matchups. Think about this. This Friday night, we get number 10 Utah versus number 19 Oregon State. It's not bad. It's not a bad matchup right there in the Pac-12. Number 22 Florida goes to Kentucky on Saturday, where they've had some trouble with the Wildcats lately. See if they can figure that out. Number 24 Kansas goes to number 3 Texas. We kind of keep waiting for Texas to slip up, maybe stumble. Could it happen here? It's possible. Number 13 LSU goes to number 20 Ole Miss, who of course is coming off of that loss to Alabama. Number 11 Notre Dame has to try to rebound from their loss to Ohio State by going to Duke, which we sit there and say, come on, it's Duke. Hey, Duke is number 17 in the country this year. That might not be as easy as everyone thought it was going into the season. That might be a much better game. So, no, it's not quite as good as last week, but there are a number of season-shaping games in college football that are coming again this Friday and Saturday, and you just know we're going to get some more surprises, just like we did last week. But we weren't done. Because then we moved on to Sunday, and Sunday was like a drunken week in the NFL. Nothing made sense. Everything was kind of upside down. I mean, we had wild finishes like the Minnesota Vikings and Los Angeles Chargers game that you just couldn't make sense of. Completely insane. We had big surprises like the Arizona Cardinals upsetting the Dallas Cowboys. Who saw that coming? Weren't the Cardinals trying to tank or something? What happened there? We saw some huge points being scored. Yeah, most of them were on my Denver Broncos by the Miami Dolphins. We even saw in the NFL on Sunday, maybe the biggest star on the planet in attendance at Arrowhead Stadium taking in a Kansas City Chiefs game. That's right, kids. I'm talking about Taylor Swift, who was up in a suite watching the Chiefs game. Yeah, it seems that Taylor Swift is now dating Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, and that he will soon be the subject of one of her songs. And they kept flashing to her. She was shown up in that suite repeatedly during the broadcast, celebrating with family, celebrating with friends, as the Chiefs rolled to an easy win over the Chicago Bears. And Kelce even scored a touchdown, which had Swift screaming like a maniac. And it was funny because you know the Taylor Swift fans, they've never seen a football game in their life. They have no idea what's going on. So they saw her screaming and she was like, yay! And they're like, nah! They had no idea how to react. They don't even know what they're watching. I don't know if she knows what she's watching. I hope she does. But it was just kind of interesting because Taylor Swift has turned herself into like maybe the biggest star on the planet. There she was taking in the NFL and watching, apparently, her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, scoring a touchdown and screaming like a fool. Hey, it was a really, really fun weekend of football. And also, I do want to say congrats to Travis Kelce because you are now scoring sixes both on and off the field. And I also want to say congrats to Mrs. Brittany Mahomes because you know she hates every bit of that. You know she is sitting in the suite, maybe two down, looking down at Taylor Swift just going, ooh, I can't stand you getting more camera time than me. How dare you? And that doesn't even compare to how bad Mahomes' brother is hating all this. Because you know he probably tried to get into Taylor's suite and do some stupid TikTok with her. And they're like, yeah, loser, stay out of here. We don't need you just grabbing her face and kissing her. Aren't you already in enough trouble for that kind of thing? Hey, before we jump in today, just want to remind you, make sure you're stopping by DailyDoseSports.com where we have new articles going up every single week. In fact, this week, I discussed two big blowouts to my Denver Broncos and, of course, to the Colorado Buffaloes and how similar they are. There are some real disturbing similarities between those two teams right now. But we also have links to the podcast over there. We have links to the video. We put a piece of the show up on YouTube every week, and we have links to Daly Dose gear. If you need a t-shirt, you need a sweatshirt, you need a hoodie, the best thing about ordering it over there is you can get it in whatever color you want. If you're watching the video, you can see some Daly Dose gear behind me, but you can go over there and pick exactly what you need. We do have a couple of styles to choose from. Make sure you stop by DailyDoseSports.com. Okay, YouTube, make sure you go over and you check out the full podcast this week because we are actually taking a look at a few teams in both college and the NFL that maybe haven't gotten off to the start that they wanted to. And we're wondering, is it time to hit the panic button or is everything going to magically be okay? We discuss a number of teams. Plus, we do have a Daily Dose Top 5 for you this week. You might not realize this, but there is a team right now that has a streak going. And they are trying to break that streak, going to be talking about a few historical streaks in NFL history. So be sure you go over and check out the full podcast. I will leave a link here in the comments on YouTube for you. Hope you all are doing well. I will see you all next Wednesday. Have a great week.